Hello, my friends. This is Christy with Help for Your Journey, where my goal is to encourage and inspire you in your Trim Healthy Mama lifestyle. So, I kind of just wanted to do a little chat here about Trim Healthy Mama. What is it? Why is it a good way to eat? How do you get started if it's something that you're interested in? And let me just recommend that you get the plan book. That would really help you. It's going to go into way more depth than I'm going to give you here. And it's going to give you recipes that you can start out with. And it's just, well, I don't know if you're like me, but I like to kind of know the why. Why am I doing this? And that will give you that. So, and I have my notebook here. And so if you see me look down, it's just because I'm making sure that I'm hitting some important points that I want to tell you. So, the basis of Trim Healthy Mama is this: our bodies burn fuel to live. Your body burns fat, your body burns carbs, but it doesn't burn them at the same time. It will go through the carbs first, and then it will burn the fat that you eat. And then after those two are gone, it will get to your own body fat. So if you are eating fats and carbs in the same meal, your body's going to burn the carbs, it's going to burn the fat, and then by the time it gets to your own body fat, you're eating again. So the premise is, let's get those fuels separated. So what we do is we separate carbs from fats. We're not cutting anything out, which is amazing. I spent years of my life cutting various foods out, which sucks. You don't have to cut anything out. We're just going to eat certain things separate. So, Trim Healthy Mama has come up with an easy way to remember how to do this, basically. So we have 3 types of food categories, let's call it that. So we have, or meals, let's call it meals. So we have an S meal, which stands for satisfying. That is going to be where you're going to eat your healthy fats. Those meals are delicious. I mean, we're talking eggs and bacon, meat, dark chicken, beef, butter, coconut oil. This is where you're finding all of those, and they're very satisfying. They're very filling. Those are an S. Then you've got a meal that would be called an E meal, which stands for energizing. That's where you're going to get your healthy carbs. And I'm not talking about white flour, white sugar, even white rice. I'm not talking about the white. I'm talking about things like brown rice, quinoa, oatmeal. There's all sorts of good, healthy carbs that you can have. And that's where you're going to get your energy from. Then there's a third type of meal, and that is called a fuel pull. That is basically just a meal where it doesn't have a lot of fat, it doesn't have a lot of carbs, so it can go with an S or an E. You're going to find all of your non-starchy vegetables in this category, and you're going to find some other things like berries, Greek yogurt, fat-free Greek yogurt. There's a lot of different things that can fit into that category, but it's really cool because you can eat a fuel pull food with an S or an E. And that's what's going to round out your meal. It's going to help you feel full. And you guys, I'm telling you what, Trim Healthy Mama is like the best way to eat. It is just the best way to eat. I don't have to cut anything out. Anything that I want to have, I can find a way to have it. I just got home from a funeral where they had a luncheon after. I did not know what they were going to have, but I knew that chances were very high that I was going to be able to eat an S meal at this funeral lunch. There's either going to be ham or there's going to be fried chicken that I would be able to take the skin off of, because that would have a breading on it that I wouldn't want to eat in an S situation. And so I took a tortilla with me, a fuel pull tortilla, because I thought, who knows what I can find that I could put in that tortilla. And I just put it in a baggie and I put it in my purse. And I knew I was going to eat an S meal, and I had some chocolate chip cookies that I had made. I put a couple of those in my purse as well. So I ended up having a big piece of ham. I did cut off the edge of the ham because it seemed like it was possibly had like a, not a sugar coating, but I just thought that I could taste a little bit of sweetness, and so I just didn't want to eat that outer edge. So I just cut that off, no big deal. There was a raw veggie tray, so I took some vegetables, and then they had like pinwheel wraps. I could tell that it was, there was meat and cheese and lettuce, and it looked like maybe like a cream cheese type filling. So I took a piece of that and I took the insides out of the tortilla and I just ate the insides. So I didn't even end up using my tortilla that I brought. I did eat one of the cookies that I brought, left there totally full, totally satisfied, and totally on plan. Going out to eat is a breeze when you're eating an S meal. So let's talk about this a little bit. Let me give you an example of things if you were eating S, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, and then I'll do the same thing for E. I will say that it is very rare for me to eat the same fuel for every meal and snack in a day. It's good to mix it up because your body needs all of those different types of fuels, and it just keeps things interesting and satisfying. So usually what I do is if I'm eating an S breakfast, I will have an S lunch, and then I will eat an E dinner, or I will flop that. If I'm eating an E breakfast, I'll eat an E lunch, and then I'll have an S dinner. And usually that's just kind of how I do it. One thing that you do want to remember is that if you're switching fuel types, you want to have about 3 hours in between. So if I'm eating an S breakfast and lunch, it's the same fuel. So I don't need to worry about that time frame. Although you don't want to be constantly grazing all day long because you're not giving your body a chance to burn all of what you're eating. So that's not a good idea. But if I have an S breakfast and lunch, I know I'm going to have an E dinner. So I need to make sure that I have that time in between lunch and dinner. But I usually eat a snack in between lunch and dinner. So what do? I eat a fuel pull snack. I have a video on a delicious shake that is a fuel pull shake. That is what I have as a snack almost every single day. It's very filling, and because it's a fuel pull, I can safely switch between my S lunch and my E dinner without having to worry about that. So here are the examples. So if I was going to have an S breakfast, I could very easily have a couple of eggs that I cook in butter. I could have some bacon or some sausage, and I could have some vegetables. I could have cheese with it. I just wouldn't want to have starchy vegetables, which, I mean, for breakfast, like you're not eating stuff like corn usually. So that's not even really an issue. If you're going to eat some vegetables with breakfast, it's going to be more of an omelet type thing. You're going to have peppers, you're going to have onions, maybe some zucchini in there. Great. If I was going to have an S lunch, I could have some barbecue chicken thighs. I could use sugar-free barbecue sauce. I could have some broccoli with that. That would be delicious lunch. Usually for lunch, I have leftovers from what I had the night before for dinner. I usually don't actually cook things for lunch. That's just, I don't know. I don't have time for all that. If I was going to have an S dinner, it would be very easy to go out to eat. I could have a burger. I could take it off of the bun. I could get it, I could ask them to do like a lettuce wrap for the burger. I could have a steak with some broccoli with butter. Um, so many choices for an S meal out to eat. So for a snack, for like dessert after dinner, I could make some cookies like I talked about. I have been making ice cream here at home. I have an ice cream maker that is so easy to use. And there are so many good recipes that you can find on Pinterest for sugar-free ice cream. So I use stevia with it. So it's not like it's not sweet, it's just not sweetened with white sugar. Um, Brianna Thomas has an ice cream recipe. It's coffee ice cream. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. Can eat a huge bowl, so I have to limit it. I maybe make it like once a month. But there are lots of ice cream recipes that are fuel pull even. Recipes that you can make just using a blender. You don't necessarily need an ice cream maker to make ice cream. If you have a good high-powered blender, you can make shakes. Oh my gosh, you guys, the sky is the limit with this. So let's go over E. If I was going to eat an E breakfast, I usually would make oatmeal. And when I make oatmeal, I do something a little weird, but don't knock it till you try it. I mix riced cauliflower in with my oatmeal while it's cooking. You can't taste it, and it adds a lot of volume to my bowl of oatmeal, and I'm getting a serving of vegetables in. Like, it's a win-win. It is a total win-win. And I will have probably some blueberries in that. I'll add some protein powder in to get my protein up. You definitely, no matter whether you're doing an S, an E, or a fuel pull, you want the base of that meal or snack to be protein. So based on if it's an S meal, you could do higher fat meats. If it's an E meal, you'd want to stick to leaner meats. And definitely, if it's a fuel pull, you would want to stick to pretty much the leanest meat that you can find. If I was going to do an E lunch, I could do a lentil soup. Lentils are very high in protein, or I could add some white meat chicken into that. Um, you know, anything like a rice-based lentils, you've got your squashes that you can use, quinoa, all sorts of different grains that you can use. And there's a lot of grains out there. Don't be afraid to try these grains. Even if they have like quinoa, I know it's like a weird name and it's like spelled differently than it's pronounced and all that. Don't be afraid. It's a grain. Actually, quinoa is a seed, but it's been around for thousands of years. Don't be scared of it. Worst thing that could happen is that you don't like it. And so then, okay, I tried it. I don't like it. But trying new things keeps it exciting. So don't be afraid to try new things. Pinterest can be your best friend with recipes. Trim Healthy Mama has some wonderful cookbooks. And believe me, you guys, there is just about a recipe for everything under the sun that you could ever want to make. And it is Trim Healthy Mama compliant. So the sky is the limit. If I was going to have an E dinner, I could do a chicken fried rice. That would be delicious. And that is a great meal to clean out the fridge. Any leftover veggies that you have that are just sitting in the fridge, pull them out, throw them in a stir fry, do it in a fried rice type of dish. You can make rice ahead of time and put it in the freezer, so then you don't even have to deal with cooking the rice, or you can buy rice frozen. You just need to make sure that the only ingredient in it is rice, or at least that it doesn't have a lot of extra oils and like different things like that in it, but you can buy that frozen now. So good. It is so good. Throw some chicken in there, throw some tofu in there. My husband and I ate a vegan diet. We actually tried to eat a very strict vegan diet for like a year. We did no sugar, no flour, no oil or fat of any kind, and no salt. We did that pretty strictly for like a year. So eating Trim Healthy Mama is like a walk in the park compared to that. So tofu, try it. seriously, try it. I'm going to do some recipes with tofu because tofu I know is very intimidating to people, and you don't have to be intimidated by tofu. So I'll definitely do some videos with tofu because we love it and we eat it all the time. And last, if I was going to eat an E snack, I would probably have some type of a cake or a muffin. It's just so nice that you can have these change ups with fuels. So you just literally get to have everything. You don't have to cut anything out. It is amazing. It is amazing. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them down in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. But hopefully this gave you just an overview of what Trim Healthy Mama is. And you know what, you guys, if you've been dieting for a really long time, your body might need some time to heal. So I know the sisters who wrote Trim Healthy Mama, the program, they will come right out and say, don't even expect to lose any weight when you first start this. Sorry about that. My sister just walked in the door, so I had to talk to her for a minute. So what I was saying was, if you have been dieting a lot, you very well could need some healing inside your body, and it's going to take a minute for that to happen. So I just want to encourage you, maybe stay away from the scale when you first start. Give it a month and just don't even weigh, and just enjoy the freedom that comes with being able to eat this way, where you're not cutting out whole food groups and you just get to enjoy a wide variety of foods. Try some new foods, try some new recipes. You are gonna find that you love it. And a little prep, a little planning goes a long way. And I am gonna be having some videos on my channel that are going to talk about that, how to meal plan. I have a template. I know I keep talking about this template. I need my husband to help me film that video because I'm actually going to write down how I do my menu plan and show you how I use the template that I made. And I kind of need him to sort of stand behind me and film kind of over my shoulder. That was the best way that I could kind of get like a downward view so that you'd be able to see exactly what I'm doing. So I need his help, and he's working a lot of hours right now. So I'm kind of waiting for him to have some time free up to help me with that. So anyway, I hope that this little overview helped you. I hope that you will give Trim Healthy Mama a try. It is a whole new world, you guys, and you will be so glad that you tried this. If you have a long dieting history, this is just going to be everything that you have been waiting for. So if you have any questions, let me know. And I appreciate you watching. If you found value in this video, if you would please give it a like, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends if they're interested in this type of content. The more the merrier. I hope that we can support each other, and I appreciate you watching today, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good day.